Hello everyone, I am Matthias Manzel, and this is the New Gaming Studios Smite Vulcan guide. For Vulcan, we're going to just skip the little highlight section because he's not a very flashy character. I'm just going to dive right in. Vulcan's passive is Forge. Vulcan transfers a percentage of his protection and health to his turrets. In addition, when Vulcan is within 30 feet of his own deployables, they regen a percentage of their health every second because of their proximity to the Forge. I should probably go ahead and tell you that Vulcan is a tank. He is melee. He's one of the only persistent pet gods in the game right now. His one is Backfire. Vulcan blasts a fireball out of his forge, dealing damage to all enemies in its path. The strength of the blast also knocks Vulcan 20 feet back. His 2 is Inferno Cannon, which we just set down right there. Vulcan constructs an Inferno Cannon that shoots fireballs in a cone that deal damage to the target every second. The Inferno Cannon lasts until destroyed or another is placed. This inherits Vulcan's penetration, but does not apply on-hit effects. His 3 is Thumper 16. Vulcan constructs a Thumper 16 that deals damage and slows enemies every second. The Thumper 16 lasts until destroyed or another is placed. This inherits Vulcan's penetrations, but does not apply on-hit effects. And Vulcan's ultimate is Volcanic Overdrive. When Volcanic Overdrive is activated, Vulcan gains movement speed and protections for a short time. All of Vulcan's structures fire faster and gain massive regeneration. The Inferno Cannon also fires in a 360-degree radius and auto-targets gods while under the effects of Volcanic Overdrive. So, like we already said, Vulcan is a tank. He is a very tanky tank. However, he does not have much in the way of CC. The Thumper turret does slow a good bit, and it does reapply that slow rather often. It's very good to deal with people like Loki who are going to try and dive into your backline. However, other than that, you don't really have much way to peel off of people. So you're really relying on just staying alive for a long time. In this video, we're going to be building probably a little bit more tanky than is necessary on Vulcan. Most builds will go with kind of items that give you magical damage, magical penetration, and magical protection, that kind of thing, like the Void Stone. Things that are both tanky and provide things to make your turrets hit harder. In this video, we're pretty much just going full out tank. We just want us and our turrets to survive for as long as possible. So you can see, whenever there's going to be grouped up, we just place our turrets and pop our ultimate. When our ultimate is popped, we get a lot tankier and we gain a good bit of movement speed. So we're able to really just stay in the middle of the fight and really deal with anything. It takes a lot to kill a Vulcan. The other really amazing aspect that Vulcan brings to a team is that he's going to be able to push the wave very well. So you can see right there, their minions are pushing in. I just dropped both my turrets in their minion line, and it actually pick up the kill on Ares, pick up another assist on Hades, and when I go back, my turrets are still there pushing their minions back. So you get a lot of control over the mid of the map. And really, when it starts to get down close towards the end of the game, if it's a close game, it can be decided by minion kills. So having that presence throughout the entire game of just clearing waves very fast is very, very potent, and it puts somewhat of a clock on the enemy team of we have to kill them very fast before Vulcan just kind of auto farms points away from us. Your volcanic turret does hit rather hard. The Thumper doesn't really hit that hard, but the slow is very nice, and it does put out good AoE damage, so it is still something that you're going to be using very often. It's not like it's neglected by any means. You always want to try and get, obviously, as much damage as possible, so you want the Thumper to really be in the middle of their team. And when possible, I try and place the volcanic turret in a manner that is protecting the Thumper, but not within most AoE's range. By the way, it is also called the Inferno Cannon, not the Volcanic. So the Inferno Cannon. But what I mean by that is, say the Thumper is where it is right now. I would put the Inferno Cannon maybe 10 feet behind it, kind of midway through the Inferno Cannon's range, And then when anyone comes up to hit the Thumper, they're going to be getting hit by the Thumper, hit by the Inferno Cannon, and then they also are going to have to kill each one individually. You don't want like Anubis to do Grasp of the Dead and hit both of them at the same time. And you can see there, we survived through Hades, Zeus, and Ares ultimates, and we end up dying afterwards. But to be able to survive through really any combination of those, any combination of two of those, is pretty impressive. But to live through all three really demonstrates the kind of tankiness that we have on Vulcan. He's also one of the only characters that I kind of mix up the active items for. I've been going Meditation and Aegis Amulet. Aegis Amulet just to increase your overall tanking potential, and Meditation because you are going to be throwing down a lot of turrets, and mana is not like a huge issue once you get kind of like to level 10. It's usually not a problem, but just in case, Sprint is, you know, it's useful on every god, but not as useful on Vulcan because your job's not to get kills. And typically when you're running away, you'll either be able to kite through Thumper and that'll get you away enough, or if they get through that, you're probably going to be able to finally burst you down, or Sprint wouldn't have helped anyway. But either way, I go Meditation just in case my mana gets low. I like to be able to put out turrets as often as possible and as much as possible. You see here, Loki dives in, I throw the slow under him, Anubis gets his stun off. But even if he wouldn't have got stun off, the slow would have kept Anubis off of, or would have kept Loki off of whoever he was chasing. And as long as you can keep assassins like that off their target, they really become a lot less effective. Every second they're not hitting their target is kind of just them being useless, because they have to be on the target. I pick up another kill there. Not really huge. I'm really just going more for assists than kills on Vulcan, but you know, we'll take whatever we can get. It's a nice golden experience. It's never bad to get a kill. So what you're really looking to do on Vulcan is kind of control team fights. You're denying certain areas. And if you have really good teammates, they'll utilize your cannons very much. And they'll really take advantage of having your zoning potential on the team. Your carry should always be near your turrets, just so they can kite through, get extra damage, whatever they need to do. So, Hades ults, so I get drop my turrets, knowing that there's about to be a lot of people there to get hit by them. We use backfire to get away, and your backfire is a good ability, but it doesn't really do a lot of damage, and it knocks you back. So if you're trying to go for the kill, then it has to be the thing that kills them, unless you know your turret can pick it up or something. So more often than not, you'll probably end up using backfire as an escape mechanism. That's what I've typically done with it. And you can see that Hades is just getting hit by the Inferno Cannon like rather hard. And when you have teams like we have here, we have Neith, Ares, Anubis, all people that have very hard CCs. If they can lock them down inside of your turrets, that person's going to get hit really hard, because you know, Ares is going to bring their entire team into Thumper and Inferno. Neith is going to lock one person down, then burst them down herself. Anubis will lock one person down, burst them down themselves. So you're really just adding to what the team comp is already really good at. Like I said, the problem with Vulcan is that he's a tank that doesn't have much of a way to peel enemies off of your carries. But he is exceptionally tanky, and he does have very good zoning like we talked about earlier. So he does have his place, and he is an incredibly fun character to use. I really was not expecting him to be as fun as he is. And you can kind of see right there, the Thumper's up front, the Inferno Cannon behind it, kind of protecting it. So we see Ares ult, get one of our cannons down. The other one's still on cooldown, that's okay. At this point, we're tanky enough to survive all of this without even popping our ultimate. And we only have reinforced boots and the, I believe it's the Bulwark. The thing gives you a shield when you get low health. Look at that. We just lived through Hades and Ares ultimates. And we're not even half health, and we didn't have our ultimate up. And there's 5 assists for us right there. And that's really another thing that Vulcan is awesome at, is he racks up assists really easily and really fast. And all of those assists are golden experience. That's just getting you further and further ahead. the farther ahead a tank can get, it's a proportionate amount of tankiness to the enemy carries is what you're going for. You want to be able to survive the enemy carries bursts. So the farther ahead of them that you get, the more burst you can survive, obviously. So every assist is potentially saving your life at another point in the game because you get more items. And we see here, we see Loki go invisible, so we throw down the slow at the only direction that he could be going. We know who he's chasing. We saw Anubis slow health, so we get that slow down on him by Anubis just a couple more seconds, maybe just a second, whatever we can to get further away from Loki. Either hopefully Anubis will get away or someone else will just come in and pick it up. So you can see since we're fighting Hades, I'm careful not to stand grouped up with my teammates. If Hades sees 3 or 4 of us together, he's probably going to go ahead and ult. And even though I can survive it, I would like to not take unnecessary damage. So I'm going to go ahead and just stand a little bit off to the side of Hades when I see him come in. It's much like dealing with an Ares, just a lot easier. So our Ares ults, their Ares ults. Go ahead and pop my ultimate. Come back in. I used the backfire cannon just to get a little bit more damage in Hades. Maybe try and burst him down before his ultimate goes off. And it also will help you escape things like Hades' ultimate. Do note though that if there is an ability on you that prevents movement abilities, you will not be able to use your 1 because it does knock you back. So there's the Ares ult and the Zeus ult, and we just walk out of it. We're not even half health. We see Loki coming for us. We use our 1 to try and get away. Get our slowdown. And there you go. There is a Loki with complete free range on us. We're just over half health. And we just walk away from it. That's all it takes. So like I said, your usual build, you're going to want to at some point pick up some magic penetration and magic power probably. Like probably something like Voidstone that also give you some defense as well, make you tankier, because that is your goal, is to be tanky. It's just that extra damage never hurts. In this video though, we are going for the safe, very tanky build. So we went ahead and got the Hide of the Neiman Lion, which is going to reflect auto attack damage back at the auto attacker. And since they have a Loki and a couple of other people who do a good bit of auto attacking, that's really going to come in handy. So right now I'm just trying to annoy them with my turrets. Just draw whatever attention away from our minion wave that I can. Whatever I can to just kind of be in their face and annoying the enemy team. If you can get the enemy team flustered, that's really something that's very underestimated. Is just messing with the other enemy team's head. So the more things I can do to annoy them, the more turrets they have to deal with, the more just small damage that they're constantly taking, the more bad plays they're going to potentially make. So Ares comes in, I get the Thumper turret down, get the Inferno Cannon down, pop her ultimate. There's their Ares, their Hades, their Zeus. And again, we live through all 3 ultimates. We are eventually taken down by Zeus's detonate charge. But we live through a Zeus ultimate, a Ares ultimate, and a Hades ultimate, all stacked on top of each other. And that is not something that a lot of characters can do. Even a lot of other tanks are going to have a really hard time dealing with that. Especially when you think that most of that is magic damage. And right now we're not really stacking magic damage. Our last item was completely health and physical. We're not stacking magical protection. Our last item was completely health and physical protection. So to be able to survive 3 hard-hitting magical ults is really impressive with the items we have and where we're at right now. We are almost level 20. But our items are definitely not designed specifically to fight magic damage. So you see they're just getting the damage down the wave that I can. Trying to get turrets down the enemy team. Hades dives in, but there's nothing he can do. Their Ares can't really do anything. So Loki comes in, we get the 2 cannons down, Loki blows up. And really at this point, we're actually hitting Loki and Neith rather hard. They're not coping well with our turrets. There's the Ares ultimate, we get a turret down. There's their Hades, their Ares, and look at our health. It doesn't even matter. We are nowhere near being in trouble, and we just survive, like, essentially what their entire team comp is meant to do. You can see us misclicking the V right there. It happens occasionally. Get feared and silenced. Go ahead and pop the Aegis amulet. Use backfire cannon to try and knock ourselves back out of that. And there you go. We were feared and silenced right in front of their portal with 4 of them there, and we're just going to walk away. So there we finally finished the Hide of the Nemean Lion. And we are going to go ahead and get that Magi's Blessing, because like I said, that is a lot of magic damage. And we are dealing with it, but Loki and Neith are really not doing anything at this point. So we're going to go ahead and focus on the magic protection. Zeus getting a little bit of poke off. Yeah, you can see that Zeus is actually kind of hitting a little bit hard. He's a little bit annoying. But still, nothing we can't deal with, especially not when we have our ultimate up. So I see Hades dive in. I run through the Hades just to try and make sure I don't get caught up in that ult. I think he actually didn't pop it anyway though, but you know, never hurts to be safe. Pick up another kill, another assist for us. There's going to be another kill for our team, another assist for us. And Ares, that was an awesome play by Ares right there. He sees where my 2 cannons are, so he stands right in front of the Inferno cannon, ults them all into it, and then they're getting slowed, hit by the Thumper cannon, and hit by the Inferno cannon. That was a great play by Ares, and it just decimated their team right there. So you get the Thumper down, clear that wave out. And as you can see, Meditate actually ended up being a little bit of overkill here. Just had a lot of us wiping up team fights and walking back and repeating. So, no, it can very well end up being overkill. You can see right here, this is an important thing for a tank to do. Ares is running away. I know they have people on their team like Neith to rely on skill shots to get their damage in. So what you do is you stand in between the person with low health and the carry that's trying to hit them. And you literally just absorb any of the skill shots that are aimed at them. Now, if it's someone like Zeus in their team, you have to be aware of your distance to that person, because you don't want to get hit with chain lightning and then have it bounce to the person you're trying to protect. So, you want to be aware of your distance, not only between you and the enemy, but you and the person you're protecting. And you want to stay a wall in between that person and the enemy team. It's going to save a lot of carries, and it's going to help save your team in a lot of bad positions. So we get the Thumper working on that minion wave. Try to push it back out. Get the Inferno cannon down. Just get some damage out. Just annoying Ares. Ares ults. He only catches Hades, but I don't think Hades is going to get away from this. Get the slowdown on him, and he goes down. As you can see, we're really just doing our best to be involved in whatever way we can. We get the Thumper turret down in our carries. We're trying to keep an eye on this Loki. There wasn't really anything we could do about it, but we did what we could. That's all we can ask for. Pop back into base, pick up that Magi's Blessing. It gives you a lot of magical protection, and you can periodically absorb a spell that's aimed at you. So you just completely negate one spell and then get a lot of magical protection on top of that. It's a really, really nice item, especially for a team comp like this. You see, Hades does go ahead and burst the little bubble does around us. There's their Ares ult, really not worried about this point. Get the Thumper down, get the Inferno down, pop our ultimate. It's a Neith ult. They just do not have a way to deal with us, especially when our ultimate's popped. Like I said, at this point, this is the point that I would start building into magical protection, or magical penetration, I'm sorry. But I can see the game's already almost over, so I decided I'm just going to go out, help the team, try and end this as fast as possible. And that's the pickup. We get Zeus for the final kill. I believe we ended the game at 3 kills, 3 deaths, and 30 assists. Yeah, that's it. So like, comment, subscribe, let us know what you think, and if there's any gods you would like to see in the future. Thank you guys.